Well, hello and welcome back. We are continuing our application conversion from Apache Tomcat and JSP pages to Spring Boot and a more modern deployment of our Java application. And one of the things we're doing is we're also upgrading to Bootstrap 5, give ourselves a nice responsive interface, sort of like, I think this one's set up. Let's see how close it is. So sort of like this, so responsive. If you shrink it down, you're going to see that it still sort of looks halfway decent. And then, of course, as you expand it out, and that's all a responsive design if you haven't been exposed to that. And we're also using Thymeleaf as the front end for the tag library on that page. And those are the two things we're going to focus on this episode, because I'm going to look at this login form. There's a couple of things that we're going to get out of this. Is we're going to look at if statements and Thymeleaf, which allows us to display or not this. And for example, if we look at that, we've got that. But if we log out, then we get a nice little green one. So we get a different response there. We're also going to look at these buttons because that's actually all sort of related to this alert in the Bootstrap world. Now the ifs are super, super simple. So if we go to, let's go to my login, and you may have forgotten, but we had two messages. We had an invalid email or password message, which is, let's do it this way, just to be grammatically, and spelling. We'll just keep that so that's like completely correct. And we also have whether you're logged out or not. Not sure why I put a space there, but let's go ahead and keep that on both. Now, the if statement, super, super simple in this case, is we're just saying, hey, if param.error, then, so if we send it an error, then we're going to give it an invalid email or address. If there's a logout, then we're going to say you've been logged out. And you can actually see here, if you go look up, if you look up here, you can see where I just sent it log out. So if I do log in, I'm sorry, it was error, I think was the name of it. Then, it's not going to take that one. Oh, it's probably because, yeah, I need it to be equal. So, yeah, so those are, depends on what we've got there is how it's going to pick up this param. And that is part of the built-in login stuff. Now, this would be easier if I go to, like, for example, if I log in and I wanted to do something here that I could say, if it's, if this is my name, then I can do something special or not. And then I can get a little, and you can, just like everything else, you can get pretty complicated in your if statements because you don't have to do just a true, it's just any Boolean expression. So I could say, if the day is Monday and the sky is blue or something like that, I could put those things there. I could put a nice complicated if statement and then use that whether I'm going to display things or not. So it gives us a way to do, like, for example, messages, error messages or informational messages, but also there could be things like we may want to do that logout. So logout only appears if you're logged in. Of course, here we don't, do we have a, oh, we do. Yeah, so I could put something like up here to say, hey, that logout button only appears when you're logged in. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. And maybe that changes. And we see that a lot. You'll see a menu item that will change to log in if you're logged out and log out if you're logged in. And so we use quite a bit. Thymeleaf's ifs quite a bit for that kind of stuff if you want to do some conditional displays. And really you can get more complicated if you want, but that gives you at least a way to display or not display things. Another example may be like up at the top on our home page. We have something like a hello somebody, or not on our home page. Yeah, I think it is on our home page. Okay, it's not on our home page. It's on our dashboard. User dashboard is we've got this, and so we could have some if around that and just say, hey, if they don't have a last name, then only display their first name, or things like that. So there's a lot of little logical stuff you can do that will help you as you go through things. Now you could also do just a straight up something like this where the message just could be empty. So if I go to dashboard, and I think I can just do this. I'm hoping I've got it right. So if I do message equals 1, 2, 3, no, it's not picking it up. Oh, because messages, I'm sorry, that's not a parameter. That's actually a value that's sent across. So that actually comes from when you go to the dashboard in the hello world, or I'm sorry, the hello controller that we've got there. Yeah, so there's the dashboard. And see, I don't even send a message right now. But I could do an attribute and say something like message, what do I want to do? We'll just say, this could be, we'll do something like this. It's just like, please check your email for an important notice, let's say. And I can do that. And now I'm going to check it whether if this thing exists or not. Right now you see there's nothing there. But if I run this through, probably going to make me log in again. Yes, it does. And now I get to see like my little notice here. And that's all just based on, so I didn't even have to do, notice before, I didn't really have to do anything with it. It just would display wherever that was in dashboard. Where did it go? Where did it go? There we go, user dashboard. Here, I'm just going in there and I'm just displaying in font red. Very simple. I'm just saying, hey, I have this text. If I don't, then it's just not going to display at all. But if you want something more complicated, for example, if you wanted like on your home page, like log out, maybe if you're already logged in, maybe this stuff doesn't exist. Or register, you may want to move some stuff around here based on this page. So there's some things like that that you can look into as far as your logic. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Bootstrap world. And if we go to login, because these are a couple of really powerful things that I think some people overlook. And that is, let me go to the login form. There's two things in here actually I want, and they're very similar. And it is alerts, which is what we see when we, let's see if I do, let me just do this, which is this. So this nice, built-in box, it is a style, or it's a class actually. So I can do an alert. And then I can also give it, there's several different types of alerts that exist in the Bootstrap world. And here's an example of them. Let me blow this up a little bit. And these are really nice to know. So they've got, by default, they've got all of these different colors. Like we use danger alert, which is just alert, and then it's dash the name. So we do alert dash danger to get our red one. We do alert dash success to get our green one when we log out. And then there's some others we can use all over the place. Info might be used fairly regularly, or your warnings. There's a primary. And the key to this, which actually goes to our buttons, work the same way, is we have here, this is a danger alert. But we could come out here. These happen to be the buttons. You can do the same thing. So you can do alert and then a button, you could do a BTN. So right now I have those as primary, but if I made that danger, then I'm going to see my red right there. So I have the same thing. And the nice thing about the buttons, it just makes it look like a button, act like a button. Everything about it seems to be a button, even if, like in this case, register, I don't know if you can see that, but that's here we go. Whoops. If you do it, you can see up there that it's it's an a.button.primary. That's just a link. That's not an actual button. So we can fairly easily customize with a series of stuff. We can customize our alerts real easy, and you can do those separately, of course, with your CSS, but also your buttons, which becomes really powerful because you can say, hey, I'm going to set up my site with, here's all my primary buttons, and then here's all of my info type buttons, or maybe I've got secondaries. So for example, you've got your main stuff, your main buttons here, and let's actually log in. I'll show you like it, where you could play around with that is, I think this one I have buttons. These aren't. So here I have got all these links, and I may look at it and say, that doesn't make sense. So what I want to do is if I go to my opportunities, I can say view on site. I've got view on site, I've got delete, and I've got details. So let's say I want to do this. This is going to be a button, and it's going to be button warning. Let's make it button error. Whoa, wait, what did I want? What did they call it again? Danger, I'm sorry. I always forget those names. So you probably want to keep them. So now I have those links. If I can type right, let's do that again. So I'm going to actually change these up. So now the delete is going to be danger. Details will be info. And view on site will be, let's pick one. Let's make it success. And so I could make these secondaries. So I could make like view on site. I could make it, well, I'm not going to mess with that right now. Yeah, well, I know. I'm going back and forth on this. So I'll make that a secondary. And we could do that with our entire site so that, for example, a lot of times you will see maybe some main buttons up here. These would be your primaries. Or if there's like down here, maybe there's a save and a discard. And then on your list, you may have some secondaries. And it's an easy way for you to quickly, stylize your site and make it look distinctly different. Like in this case, so if you look at this page now let's go back out and let's see if we relog in and go, oop, I missed something. I did something wrong. What did I not do? Oops, I put that in the wrong place. That's my problem. I can't put it on the /A. So let's see. So there's button secondary for view on site. Danger. Oh, I just put that in two different places for some reason. Oh, it built that for me. Okay, that I didn't want to do. For some reason, it auto-filled that out. Okay, now let's try it. So now, wait for the server to come up, log in. What did I do this time? I missed one. Here we go. So it is in incomplete structure A. Okay. Oh, let's look at that. So, okay, so I've got an A and a /A, an A and a /A. Let's do this. So I can see it on the same A and a /A. Okay. If you haven't noticed, it does get a little bit picky if you don't get your tags all balanced properly and things like that, which is probably good. So you need to have your properly formatted HTML and tags. So now let's see if I come in here. There we go. So now I see all these these look as like buttons instead of links. So I didn't have to do much to change this up quite a bit. And so now I've got, and they're also like very distinct. So I'm probably not as likely to accidentally, hit a delete button. And of course we've got, there's some other things, particularly because we could have, although the link is right there, we may not want to call it that. We may want to move that into our action. There's some things we can do. That's minor stuff. But now what we've done is we've been able to, with very simple, again, in the world of Bootstrap, the two things that we got out of this are we have a BTN, and that automatically makes a button regardless of what. Wait, let me jump back over here and I'll show you. So this button, if I get rid of the secondary part, then it's still going to be a button. You can't really see it here because there's not much, because the way it's, you know, it's sort of its default is, it's going to be transparent. And there's not much I can do here, but I could do the background color. I can make it anything else. So let's just make it black. Let's make it white. Yeah, so I can make it anywhere there, but the button by default is just clear, so it's just going to be, you're not going to really see anything, but let's see if I do this. And let me take that. Then you still will see, well, you're not going to see much to it because it doesn't have too much to it. But you do get a little bit of, like, you know, the primary one, the default one, you get nothing, but you can stylize it pretty easily. Alert is the same way, so I could come into any one of these and add row alert, and I don't know which row I'm on. Let's just do alert info. It may not pick that one up. Row alert info. Which one is it? That one. Oh, it's this one. Oh, that's here. That's this display. There we go. I'm sorry. So here, I can do that, or I can get just the default is a clear. So you're not going to get anything if you do just that. But you do get some bonuses there. If I do just alert info, though, it's not going to look quite the same. It's going to give me that background, but notice here that alert does have a little extra styling. So you're going to see this pop a little. Yeah, see, alert actually puts a little bit of border around that. So that's some built-in stuff that's really nice to have, just to do some nice little styling and stuff like that within your site using Bootstrap, and also then with Thymeleaf to give yourself some ifs and a little bit of logic. So these are just some quick ones I want to throw out there. If you haven't messed around with them, they're good to know. And there's some things that I started to use here as we were starting to clean some things up, so that we have, for example, instead of just links, now these are all buttons, and we just use, if you look at them, I think it's primary. So we just used our, which is here. So we just made all our buttons primary there. Now we could make them all gray if we want to make them secondary. We can also go in and CSS stylize them and make them all, black and white, whatever we want to do. So good things to know, good things to help you out. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, info@developreneur.com, and we're going to come back next time. We're just going to keep chugging right along on getting some of these pieces put together. Go out there and have yourself a great day, a great week, and we will talk to you next time.
Well, hello, this is Rob with Developreneur, also known as Building Better Developers. Wanted to announce that we have school.developreneur.com. Feel free to check it out if you like any of this information, any of the content that we've sent, and you would like to see more. You can come out, you can enroll for free. We have free courses. We've got places for you to get better at just learning a technology, our how-tos. You can work on your business skills. We can help you with becoming a better developer, as in coding and things like that. A lot of the stuff you've seen on YouTube, we also have out at school.developreneur. We just have it in a little more of a educational format and a way for you to track your progress as you move forward becoming a better developer.